Hi writers, and welcome to week 13. This video is going to go over what our research unit looks like now that we're shifting away from the Book of Joy as you wrap up your essays, essay number 2 on the Book of Joy, and we're moving into our research unit. So our research unit, really the goal of our research unit is plenty. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up our learning outcomes because I think they're important and I want you to take a look at them. Where are they? They're right here. And I sent this out in an announcement this week, but just to remind you, this unit, we have some really amazing, beautiful learning goals. Our learning goals are to deepen our writing practice as usual, to learn to engage in our ideas and make more meaning from them, going deep into the rabbit hole. We're learning to use we're learning how to use the VC Library database to find research articles and books and scholarly research. And also the internet, because that's what we use. We're learning how to properly apply MLA to a research essay. That includes 2 different aspects of MLA formatting, the actual structure and formatting of MLA, and then the in-text citation of your sources within your essay, cited properly, quoted and referenced and cited properly, and then also your works cited. These are things we've worked on and are working on with essay number 1 and 2, and so it won't be entirely new, but we'll be going deeper into it because research is a little bit more challenging than a traditional essay. Your task is to learn how to develop a thesis or a main point that's solid for your research, and then how to integrate sources into your writing. So that is what we are working on, folks. We have our new button here for research. Our research unit, again, is our last one. It covers weeks 13, which is this week all the way through week 16. And it runs from April 3rd roughly to May 11th. Please keep in mind that it's imperative that you finish up your essay number 2 and get it done, because for the research essay, I'm asking you to choose one of your 2 essays, essay number 1 or essay number 2, and to develop and recycle that essay into a research essay. What does that mean? That means I'm asking you to decide which one of your essays you want to incorporate outside sources into. So you have to think about which of those 2 essays, essay 1 on your learning experience, or on Terry Yosso's cultural wealth model, or on Natalie Goldberg's writings. It depends on which prompt you picked for essay number 1, or you're going to choose essay number 2 and your pillar or your obstacle to joy. So keep in mind that you can choose either. I support whatever choice you make, but make sure it's one that you are happy with. You don't have to be completely satisfied with your essay number 1 or essay number 2 to pick that essay. In fact, it's a really great opportunity for you to reimagine the ideas that you set in motion in one of those essays. For example, if you're currently finishing up your essay number 2 and you chose to write about forgiveness, that would be a perfectly awesome and wonderful research project. What does it mean to offer forgiveness? What does it mean to experience forgiveness? And then, of course, using research to fuel your search, your quest, your query, and asking yourself questions that will lead you to various diverse sources. What would a sociologist say about forgiveness? What would a psychologist say about forgiveness? What do different religions say about forgiveness? And then really kind of thinking, okay, well, there's all these perspectives on my topic. How do I want to weave them together in my research essay? So you're starting with one of your essays. You can revise, edit, scratch out, delete, and add to it in any way you see fit. The most important things are, 1, that you pick one of your essays to recycle, and 2, that you look for various voices on your subject to integrate into your piece, and that it has a flow to it that makes sense. So you're not just going to take an essay and add sources. It still has to flow, right? Because you want it to sound pleasing to your reader's ear, and you want it to make sense for your reader as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on the button here so that you can see where it goes. This is our very last button, folks, which is pretty exciting. My computer is running a little slow, but when you click on the link, it will pull up what is happening for the research unit. So I want us, especially you, to take a few minutes to skim over what's in store over the next 4 and 5 weeks as research begins, integrating research into your essay, understanding what it means to recycle your research project and come up with a new argument or an enlightened way of seeing the world after having thought about something. a little practice doing some research. We have a research quiz. Again, looking at library research and finding ways to make it fun. Understanding what it means to integrate voices into your research in an academic, thoughtful way. Practicing your argument, citing an MLA, performing a research essay workshop, just like we have with essays 1 and 2, getting some feedback, and posting our research essay by May 11th. So that is what's happening in this particular unit, folks. For week 13, we have 2 discussions. One of them is integrating research into your essay and what that means. And so for this particular discussion, you're going to be thinking about which of your essays you would like to pick, skimming over your essay, and practicing talking to the text or pointing with it. We have an example here. So the goal of this particular discussion is to look at one of your essays, to use the golden line technique, pointing or talking to the text, to find something that you want to focus on in your revision process for this particular essay that you've picked, and post your notes, a picture of you talking to the text here and annotating your ideas, and then giving a classmate feedback. That's what's happening in this discussion, folks. Slow down and take your time on it, because it's definitely worth giving your attention to and full presence to as you look back at your words and you find something else that you are curious about and want to learn more about. The other discussion for this week is being honest about the fact that we can find information anywhere, and that there's lots of different kinds of resources out there for us to use to find perspectives and viewpoints that are credible, that are valid, that are logical, and that are thoughtful, and that will elucidate and light up your research, that will teach you something and will also teach us something. So this discussion is going over Google and Google Scholar. It's going over TED Talks, which are awesome. And then it's asking you to practice those search techniques. Those are different from the VC Library database, and they're also quite awesome. We use Google all the time, and many of us are familiar with TED Talks. So this discussion is asking you to explore those spaces and places with your subject or topic for research in mind, and then to report back to us what you find. So that is what's happening in week 13 in a nutshell. I hope that you're excited to do research. You do it all the time. You're just doing it in a formal way. And I hope you can spend time carving out a little space for yourself to really contemplate what it is that you need in this unit, what it is that you would like to learn more about, and then let your intuition guide you into exploring.